Alright, what's up everybody? Back with another edition of Everyday Hoops. Hope you guys are having a good one. And it finally happened. I never thought this day would come. Well, at least this offseason. But it has. Damian Lillard has officially requested a trade from the Portland Trailblazers. We're going to talk all about it today. Thank you guys for the views on the videos and the shorts recently. We appreciate it. If you enjoy the content around here, consider subscribing, like, turn notifications, all stuff like that. I'd really appreciate it. We have done a lot. Look at the analytics. A little bit less than 1% that actually watch the videos are subscribed. So, if you're watching the videos, hit the subscribe button. It really mean a lot to me. And I don't want to waste any more of your time. Let's get right into it. So, it's day 2 of free agency. We had a few little signings here and there. I'm going to make a video tomorrow about today's free agent signings and stuff. And all of a sudden, out of nowhere, Chris Haynes, the Damian Lillard expert, quote unquote, breaks the news that Damian Lillard this morning requested a trade from the Portland Trailblazers. This was kind of the most obvious, not obvious thing, randomly in a way, because we all knew that it should happen, and we were all gearing up for it to happen, but we didn't know if it actually was going to happen. But now it officially happens. Damian Lillard requests a trade from the Blazers, and yeah, says Portland is going to find a way to try to accommodate him. And also, Shams reported that Portland Trailblazers has been informed Damian Lillard wants to trade specifically to the Miami Heat, and then the Miami Heat are taking this very, very seriously. And Damian Lillard is always only focused on the Heat. He's been in communication with Heat players over the past few days. A lot of stuff. We've known this for a while, that the Heat were one of the top teams for Damian Lillard if a trade was going to happen or requested. Obviously, they just were in the NBA Finals as an 8 seed. After they lost finals, they said they wanted to go star chasing. They missed out on the Bradley Beal sweepstakes because they were looking for the big home run, which is Damian Lillard, and we're going to wait on that. Free agency, they lost Gabe Vincent and Max Strus. They let both of those guys go for money. They traded away Victor Oladipo yesterday as well to try to clear up some money for Damian Lillard. And now looking at the package potentially for Damian Lillard, Tyler Hero is most likely going to be involved in this trade. Even though Portland does have a lot of guards, they do have Scoot, they have Anthony Simons, they have Shaden Sharp. Tyler Hero will probably be in there unless it's a 3-team deal, but I'm not very sure about that unless Portland wants to keep Tyler Hero or if they flip Tyler Hero for something else. Probably looking at Tyler Hero. Maybe either one of Kyle Lowry or Duncan Robinson are going to be involved in the trade. Probably Kyle Lowry, because there's reports that came out before free agency that the Heat were considering waiving Kyle Lowry if they couldn't find anybody to take on his contract. So contractually that would work, and then the picks. It's not like the Heat are not boat loaded with picks like some other teams do, but they have a few picks that could potentially work, and also they have the factor of Dame wants to go to Miami. So that's going to play a big part. And if Portland respects Dame, which they do, they're probably going to send him to where he wants to go, which is the Miami Heat. The other preferred destination, number 2, is Brooklyn, which I think is a very interesting one. They have already kind of the surrounding pieces of a solid team. They have role players out there. They just re-signed Cam Johnson yesterday. They have Mikal, who's a good number 2 guy who showed a lot of flashes. They got guys like Dorian Finney-Smith and Royce O'Neal and guys like those. Nick Claxton, that can be really good role players. They also have a lot of picks from the Kevin Durant trade. They got picks from the Kyrie trade, the James Harden trade. So they have pick equity as well, probably more than the Miami Heat do. So they're a very interesting team because Brooklyn is a team that even was reported saying that the next big star that could want out, Brooklyn is trying to gear up a little bit to try to maybe go get that. Because, again, they do have all the pieces in place for a good team. They just don't have their superstar player, which is a big reason why they were solid last year, but they weren't great because they didn't have that superstar, even though Mikal tried to be that superstar. But Dame, that's a very interesting one, though, for Brooklyn. I think that would be very interesting. I don't know how it happens. Maybe Cam Johnson goes to Portland in that trade. I'm not sure because the money reasons. Probably be Spencer Dinwiddie, maybe Royce O'Neal, maybe some other Ben Simmons could potentially be a guy in that trade as well, depending on what point wants. And they have the picks, so that's an interesting one. Woj also reported some other teams that were going to be, keeping in touch. The Clippers and the 76ers. The Clippers obviously maybe trying to make a play for James Harden. I don't know what the Clippers really have to get Damian Lillard besides contract money. They have Eric Gordon. They waived Eric Gordon. Actually, they have Norman Powell. They have Marcus Morris. They have Nick Batum, Robert Covington. they don't have that many picks because they traded all of them for Paul George. So I don't really know what the Clippers have. And then the Philadelphia 76ers is an interesting one because James Harden is going to be on the move. Tyrese Maxey, that was reported yesterday that they're not going to extend Tyrese Maxey. They want to wait a little bit for that. And Brian Windhorst reported that Tyrese Maxey could be involved in a Dame trade. But then Jake Fisher reported saying the Sixers have no interest to decline Tyrese Maxey in a potential trade for Dame because they think he's probably going to Miami. So why even throw our name in the ring if we all know he wants to go to Miami? Philly's an interesting one because they have Tyrese Maxey. They do have Tobias Harris's contract. And they have a decent amount of picks. So we'll see what happens with that. Probably not going to happen. Philly is got their own stuff with James Harden to worry about. But yeah, man, Dame finally requested the trade. Never thought this day would come this offseason, but it officially happened June 1st, 2023. Dame requested trade. Yeah, very interesting to see the reaction to it. You know, I'm very interested to see what Dame has to say. No, nothing from Dame has been talked about yet as I'm recording this. So we'll see what Dame has to say about it and how long this takes to materialize. I'm sure Miami and Portland have been in talks right now about it. Maybe I think Brooklyn probably trying to get their name in there, see how it goes. Ultimately, most likely like 98% sure he ends up in Miami just because that's where he wants to go and that's the team that's been linked to him, all this time. But you never know. Maybe Portland's like, you know what? No, just because you want to go to Miami so bad, no, we're not doing this. We're sending you to Brooklyn. I think that would be very interesting. I don't know. I think Dame in Brooklyn would be very interesting. It's not gonna happen probably. Again, like 98% sure he's going to Miami. But yeah, man, Damian Lillard on the move. Will not be a Blazer for life. That's you can't really blame him too much for that. He's given it all. He's all to Portland. He's their franchise leader in so many things. Arguably their best player in franchise history. And yeah, superstars these days are moving. They're moving around a lot. Dame probably won't be moving around a lot. Once he goes to Miami, he's probably going to be there for a little while. And who knows what happens after that. Well, he's not even in there yet, so we got to wait and see. But yeah, very interested to see when this comes to fruition, when it happens, and how these teams look after all this free agency stuff goes on. But yeah, that's it for today. Hope you guys enjoyed. Once again, if you enjoyed the content around here, consider subscribing, turn notifications, all stuff like that. I'd really appreciate it. I'd be upset a lot. And yeah, I will see you guys tomorrow.